On Capitol Hill yesterday, a House subcommittee hearing ended abruptly when a Republican congressman misgendered Democratic Representative Sarah McBride. She is the first openly transgender lawmaker in Congress.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America, please?
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I mean, I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
I ain't gonna lie, when I saw that clip, I laughed, okay? So do you guys think that he should have been respectful and called that person by the right pronoun?
I do. I think I would have just, if you look like a girl and I call you, I say her, miss, whatever. I'm not going to go out my way to like she dressed like a girl. I'm gonna say girl. I'm gonna say miss. I don't go out my way to do that. I don't. I'm not one of them people that just want smoke all the time. So if you don't do a good enough job to look like a girl and I say Mr. or whatever, like that's on you. Like do the work. Like that's my position.
Okay. Anybody disagree with him?
Yeah, I disagree. I think we gotta call a spade a spade. We gotta call a refrigerator a refrigerator, call a microwave. He said he spoke about doing a good job. I guess you mean with like extra makeup to really sell.
No, like if I can tell that you really trying to be a girl, like don't be hairy and have your hairy legs out and all the extra stuff. You just look like a man in a dress.
Anton,
but if you look like you really doing it, I'm not gonna go out my way to call you a man.
So I kind of agree with him. I kind of agree with him because you just play along. I mean, you really can't. I mean, I don't know. You don't want to be disrespectful. Just say, hey.
So you're not disrespecting yourself by saying what you. So you're not disrespecting.
The whole world is disrespecting themselves. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, what would you say? What would you say? What would you say?
Sir,
I'm gonna call it what I see. I'm gonna call it what I see. If I see what I see,
I remember. To tell you the truth, it kind of piggyback on something that happened to me. I work at the library, and so I was getting a book, and this person, they looked at like a male. And I handed him the book. I said, "Hey, sir, how you do? Hey, sir." And then he was like, "No, sir." So I was like, "Excuse me?" And he kept saying, "No, sir." So I just gave him the book. So, I mean, I don't know what to call you. Like, if you don't want me to call you sir, I'm not going to call you sir. Like, I mean, it's a crazy world out here. So, that's all I can say.
I'm gonna say this, man. I don't know how biblical y'all are, but it says in the book, it says it's gonna be a one time where right will be wrong and wrong will be right. We must be in that time then.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard a stage that we're in the stasis, formation, degeneration, and destruction. So I mean, we're in destruction now. So everything that's abnormal is normal. So.
They don't mean adhere to the destruction, though. They don't mean adhere to it.
We got to feed into it, though. I feel like we got to be careful on how much delusion or destruction we allow. I'm not saying we could control everything, but certain things on a basic principle level, I don't see if there's a problem acknowledging the truth. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it authentic. The sky is blue. A refrigerator is a refrigerator. I don't see anything wrong in these things. A male is a male, a female is a female. I mean,
So I got a question for you. If
Mhm.
you in Thailand, right? They notorious for being real good at kind of like making themselves look like girls.
Mhm.
If you see somebody and you assume it's a girl, you like, oh, how you doing, miss? And they like, I'm a lady boy. Like, do you feel
How they
like
gonna
you
say it?
just
How do they say it?
I'm a lady boy? You going
I'm only hitting baby mamas.
yeah.
Oh my
It's over with.
god.
But are you going to feel like, dang, I just called you, or you going to continue like if you are you going to like be questioning yourself the whole time, or you just going to be calling people miss if they look like
Now,
a girl?
like once you know better, you do better. So at first,
Mhm.
if they did a good job, like what you were saying with the makeup, and they fooled me, all right, kudos, you got that one. But you then told me the reality, and you're a dude. So moving
Mhm.
forward, I'm gonna think of you and
Mhm.
address you as such. I mean,
I'm
Yeah.
going over there moving like Dr. Umar. If it ain't black,
you
I
know,
ain't hitting that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Wait,
save me all there right there.
I have a question. Mine, if you
Yeah.
find out a shim, I mean not a shim, but her is a her is a he, and they want to be dressed as a she, but you find out it's a he. Are you dressing it as a he or a she once you find out it's a he?
When you say dress, you mean like if somebody that
You
intimately
basically said you said if they're presenting themselves as a woman and then you hear that deep ass voice and you find out it's a man.
oh, they doing too much of your voice deep. Like I'm not about to like I'm not about to go out my way to call you a man if you look like you want to be a girl. But if your voice is deep, like all right, then you just playing. Like you like
Okay, so let's say their voice is a little high pitched, but you know it's a man. Like you know, but they're
yeah.
dressed as a woman. Are you still addressing them as a woman?
Um yeah, I'm gonna call him her. But this is the thing though. I don't want
Oh,
my position to be misconstrued. Like I don't think that sex is sex, right? A female is a female, a male is a male, right? Gender's not real, right? This is whatever them people think they are, whatever. I don't think gender's real. I know the definition. It's not real. Sex, though, you are a male, but you want to call yourself a her. Cool, that's what you want to do. I'm not going to go out my way to disrespect you. I know that you're a male, and I'll never call you a female, but you are a woman if you consider yourself you're a trans woman, you know.
so if I considered myself a white male, you're gonna call me that?
Not if you don't make yourself white. If you look white, I'll call
I
you white.
think that's different though. That's a little
How?
different, in my
Make
I got
yourself
opinion.
look white.
I got
Because
How? I
a
it's
wasn't
color. I
born
mean,
just male.
nobody
They're
not
not.
gonna nobody not gonna really
Listen,
like pretend they're white. But
listen.
then
If
again,
you a
I don't know.
black
There
Indian
was a girl
person and
that
you look
said
black,
that she
I'm not
was
going to be like, yo, are you really? You look black. You say you
No,
black,
no,
you black.
no, no, no. But I want to be represented as a white male. Why can't I do that to the trans people that are representing themselves as something they weren't born naturally?
You don't gotta call a white person. If I say I'm white, you don't gotta call me white. I'm not saying that I gotta call somebody a female. I'm doing that out of a courtesy. Like I don't, like sometimes I see somebody in Walmart working in there, and I'll be like, "Hey, miss, can you do?" And I'll be like, "Oh," they turn around. I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if you're a miss or like I don't even know what to call them, but I want to call you what you want to be called. Like I'm not trying to I'm just trying to ask you where to catch up at. So where to catch up? I don't.
So you're basically a very, very, very non-confrontational person.
I
And
wouldn't even say that.
when I say non-confrontational, I mean that you basically avoid any kind of disruption in your life by any means necessary if you can help it.
No, I only if it's necessary, but also like if it means something to me. Certain things don't mean anything to me, so I'm not going to go out my I'm not going to go out my way to call somebody a miss or her or like I don't care. You want to be called this, cool, but you're not going to make me call you that either though. You're not going to tell me like, yo, you got to call me this. No, I'm gonna do it as a courtesy because I don't have to, but I'm being respectful because I respect you and you asked for this, so I'm gonna call you that. But it's not I don't think all of y'all got to call them people that they don't want if y'all don't want to. It's a respect thing for me.
where do you draw the line? Because if let's just toss me in there, whoever. I'm a 40-year-old male and I want to sleep with 10-year-old girls, and I acknowledge myself as a 10-year-old boy. Like, where do you draw the line when it comes to keeping it truthful, standing on truth versus avoiding confrontation at all costs? Because at a certain point, I think you gotta call a spade a spade. Like I said, call a microwave, call a pencil, and just keep it moving that way.
I mean, I agree with you, but my thing is like what is the definition of gender versus the definition of sex? I don't know. I just know what people tell me or what I can read. And gender may be, I don't know, but I know you're not a female, right? You're a male. I'm one of them people that believe if you like trans women, you're gay because their sex, your sexuality is you like males. That's what I believe. But if you want me to call you Miss, that's cool. I don't care. Like, it don't cost me nothing to call you Miss, and you look like a Miss. So as long as like it's not, as long as I'm not struggling with my indicators of like, I see this woman, she's in a dress, cool, you're a Miss. If you want to be a girl and you got purple hair, you still look like a man, then I'm not about to fight with myself over what to call you, But if you doing the whole thing, you look like a girl, Miss, you're Miss, cool.
So let's go ahead, Anton.
No, I wanted to get Super's opinion on this, and I wanted to get Robert's and Molly's opinion also.
Well, my opinion is it's a professional setting, so I feel like they have the responsibility of coming up with some sort of compromise. If you don't want to engage in it, like if you know that this is clearly a male and you do not want to play into the game of pronouns, then they should have come up with some sort of compromise. Well, if they're going to consider calling that person by their sex as offensive, then in this professional setting, they need to come up with a compromise in this particular setting. Now, our day-to-day stuff, to me, it's up to you. I'm not required to buy into your delusion. That's how I truly feel.
I agree. Molly, Robert?
Go ahead, Molly.
I agree with Jason. You are a man at the end of the day. And as far as I know, Trump had the things go back to where these men who are trying to pass as women, they have to have male put back on their passports and things like that. So I don't see an issue in saying Mr. because you are a man, because you're wearing women's clothes does not change that. I don't think I should have to respect a delusion. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think the chairman was wrong. I don't think he should have been confronted like that. He wasn't wrong. That's a man. That's a grown man. You can see his Adam's apple.
I think he knew what he
That's my
was
two
going to get,
cents.
though. Like when he said it, because it was like he was taking a stand, which is his business. Do what you're going to do. Call him, her. But you're going to get some smoke from some people on there.
And that's
so I
the
think he kind of was
problem.
taking a stand.
He's getting smoke for calling a man a man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's standing on truth and getting smoked for that.
So my thing
ridiculous.
Is gender subjective and sex not? So what is the definition of gender, and where will we
I
get it
know
from?
it took a man and a woman for us to all be here to be on this panel.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
And also, here's the
That's
thing,
it.
bro.
Ain't nothing else to add to it.
You're advocating more than the tranny did.
I'm not advocating for nothing. Y'all gonna do what y'all want to do.
No,
I'm not going.
No. What I'm saying is you're doing just like the speaker did. You never heard the tranny say anything. It was the speaker trying to speak up for the tranny. Like, no, let him or her whatever speak for itself. But going back to my thing about it, like, I'm not gonna give into the delusion. I know what I see, what I see. So I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Now, dude step taking up for him. I'm not even entertain either one of
them. All right, I want to explore something. I just got a question really quickly. So when y'all say gender and sex, because I'm slow, I'm a C student, so y'all got to give me a little bit of rope. I'm trying to understand how y'all differentiate the two. Like, why do people think it's a difference? And I don't know, so I'm asking, why do people think that it's a difference between gender and sex?
I can just tell you what I think I know. I don't know anything, right? I just think I know what I'm talking about. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. To my knowledge, gender is a societal gender is who you feel like you identify with. Do you identify with this group of people versus that group of people, right? And sex is, are you born with a ding-a-ling or are you born with the little hole, right?
So gender is, so you can pick whatever you want to identify with? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what gender say. I mean, we can all kind of pick where we want to get a definition from and use it, but to my knowledge, that's kind of
No, I mean, you know
what I
how
know it to
you
be.
just kick it and give me y'all understanding of what the because see, in my mind, it's the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
I used to think so too.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Hold on, what changed your mind?
Just looking at the definition.
So, what's the definition from your perspective?
It's some more of what you identify with. Like, how do you dress? How do you assimilate into society? Like, how do
Gender
you
is how you assimilate, and so you don't. Okay, so this is the danger with that. You don't think that was modified and pushed onto us in order to get us to feed into the agenda that people with delusion, that the insane people that's running an insane asylum, first of all, they wanted to tie another specific group back to a particular, party politically, and then on top of that the very people that pushed that narrative that then sold it to us and helped us to believe it ultimately, was delusional themselves. You don't think that they've changed that to mean something that now you're identifying with and that you subject yourself to? Because see, as far as I knew, I've always thought that gender, you a man or a woman, and sex, you a man or a woman, it all meant the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever changed, bro. Like even when a woman gives birth, they don't ask what sex, they say what gender.
You got gender
I was
reveal
about to say that. I
parties.
was like, I was about to ask, has anybody ever been to a sex reveal party?
Yeah,
It's
you
not
can't
called that.
just
It's called a
choose.
gender reveal party, right? Or a gender reveal. You're revealing the gender of the
So I'm
baby.
not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. So to me, gender's not real, which is why I said that earlier. I don't think it's real. I think sex is real. I don't know if you can be what you want to be in a gender, it's not real. I think we should use sex. Because if I ask somebody, are you a woman or a man? Typically, I'm like, do you got a penis or do you have a vagina? Right? That's what I mean. I don't mean anything else. So I don't think gender is real. I think I use sex when I'm identifying, people with penises versus not people with penises. But I don't know. But I'm not gonna go out my way to call somebody, a man if I know that I can tell that you want to be called that you want to identify with this group of people, but you're not, and I'll never date you because I think that that's gay, sexual, because that's a sexuality. Your sex is a male. But yeah, that's just my
That's why
position
you
on that.
remind them that they're a man. You don't play along with it.
I'm
You
not.
say
So
Mr.
no,
or
they're not a
Sir.
male to
Not
me.
you, but I'm
Oh,
just saying that
right.
seems like that would be the whole point of not
Yeah.
participating in with their delusion because
I mean,
why
when I
affirm
grew
What
up,
that
if
it
in the
was
it's at
first
called.
work?
place? You don't
What
even
if it's
agree with
at
it.
Right.
what if it's
When I
at
grew up,
work
they was called
and they want to be
transvestite, right?
called?
That's what they
That's
called
what
them.
they still are.
Yeah, they like the people. It's men who like to get dressed, and they can get the surgery or they don't get the surgery. Like you're still a male. I don't.
So what's wrong with saying sir?
Right, I'm not.
If we know that they're
Yeah,
still a
only
What
if I'm
man.
if
going on my way to say sir. I think that's just as I wouldn't go out my way
I
to say
think you're a very non-confrontational person,
Pretty
and
much.
I don't fault you for that. With regard, at least with regard to this subject,
yeah, this subject. Yeah,
can I ask
I,
a question
I think that you're a
real quick?
non-confrontational person, and I don't fault you for that. Like I can't slight you because I think that you've in a way kind of given into the social programming, and a lot of people. I think that this is the way that they finessed us because in at every point, right, when they first started saying, "Hey, you need to acknowledge this person," or "It's okay to be gay," and everybody came out the closet, then they made it okay for people to get married, and then they went into the whole. They start adding additional letters onto the alphabet, and then they start stealing. Then they started, and you could see the progression over a period of time. Well, if we really want to go back, you could say that feminism hijacked the civil rights movement, and that's one of the reasons why they started to say people of color instead of saying black people. And then feminism was hijacked by the alphabet community movement, which was largely ushered in by the Obama administration, and that's the thing that he still stood on. He's largely known more for his advocacy for gay people than he is for anything else that he's done during his presidency outside of Obamacare, right? And then that was hijacked, and then they started adding letters into it, and then they continue to normalize it to you to the point to where they start firing people if you didn't acknowledge people by their pronouns. And so the minute that people kept saying, well, it's not my business, or I don't really care, and all of this stuff, next thing you know, they start suing bakeries if they didn't bake you a gay cake. They start forcing preachers to marry you inside of the churches and stuff like that. And so at some point, which again, I understand that there's different people that take different positions, but at some point you have to pick a side. You got to pick a side. I understand that there's people that don't want to mess up the bag at their job or whatever, and so they acquiesce over. But at the same time, I don't have to subject myself to your delusion. I'd rather, if I don't want to participate, then I'm not just going to call you anything. I'm going to just be like, you know what? Here's the catch up. I ain't got to say, sir. I ain't got to say, man. I ain't got to say nothing. You're not going to bully me into doing nothing. If you want to preserve the bag, then I say don't participate. But if you want to make sure that you don't give in to the delusion because it just reinforces a stereotype that then empowers people to still do the things that they're doing, and they get more hell bent on it, next thing you know, they're trying to bully you, then I'm never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, ever going to give in to an agenda, in my opinion, that's being pushed by the devil. It's demonic, it's evil. I don't acknowledge the devil. I don't give him any credence whatsoever. And I absolutely 100% stand against it. I think this is the reason why they got elected into the House in the first place. Is because too many people want to make everybody else feel comfortable, when I believe that shaming should be brought back 100%.
Yeah.
I don't have to make you feel comfortable because you want everybody else. I was taught that when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. But because we don't have any fucking standards anymore, because we don't have men to stand up and say, hey, I don't want my kids and my daughters to be surrounded by this shit. I don't want this shit inside of our books. I don't want this shit inside of our libraries, because we don't have enough people to stand up for the shit that matters. But we always want to, it's so funny. We'll stand up for the dumbest shit, but we won't be nowhere to be found for the stuff that's meaningful. And all of this stuff is programming. So the more that we give into it, the more that we continue to give, make people feel comfortable. You can't be that comfortable around me because I'm uncomfortable around you. I'm uncomfortable around your big ass head and that fucking mustache that you got growing out of your face. And I'm not cool. I don't feel comfortable, dog. And my daughter don't feel comfortable with you going to use their bathroom, because now it went from me acknowledging you to now you want to go into the same bathroom as my daughter. Now you want to play in the same sports as my daughter. And so it ain't no line being drawn, because now people are conflicted because they've been programmed to think that it's okay. Now you got punk ass white men that's inside of our legislative branches standing up for the person. And that shit sound crazy. It sounds absolutely crazy in my opinion. So no, I will never give in. I will never subject myself to it. I will never acknowledge it. If I want to protect the bag because I still want to remain in a professional setting, then I will just not say nothing. But you're never gonna get me to give in to the delusion. I just think that everybody needs to stand for something, and everybody don't need to be super vocal about it. But I ain't gonna acknowledge you, and I'm not gonna give in to your delusion at all. I just don't do it.